Hey everyone, I am here with Chris.deighton. Hey Chris,
Hey, Jennifer.
how you doing?
Great. Doing
Good.
great.
Good. So Chris is with EXP out of near Detroit, Michigan, and you've had a team for a long time, and you've created it, killed it, and now you came up with right. Is that what we're calling it? Killed it,
Absolutely.
created it again, killed it again. But now you have an idea about building a team version 2.0. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's definitely morphed because I came from Keller, where the team model was very well established. Hopefully everybody's read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent and
Yeah,
kind of
great.
understands that model, but it's evolved, and because things are not the same as they have been.
Right.
And one of the greatest parts about being at EXP is the platform that allows you to really harness and be effective and grow.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest challenges that anyone who's built a team will tell you, there's a choice that needs to be made if you're going to do the team model
Mhm.
of how much energy you're going to put into the revolving door,
Yeah.
because you spend a lot of time building out your systems to attract relatively newer agents. A lot of the time you're
Right.
training them, you're getting them business, you're giving them leads.
Well, that's
uh,
the give and take, right? It's like, hey,
yeah,
be on my team and I'll teach you, but then it's hard to close that back door and keep people.
Yeah, because they figure out what they're doing, and then they look, why am I paying a split to the team member or the
Right.
teammate, the team lead? I think I can do this on my own. Maybe it's a little scary, but they eventually end up going on their own. And what happens a lot of time is because of that dynamic, and maybe they're embarrassed or they don't, whatever. They want a clean, fresh start.
Yeah.
They end up leaving the brokerage
Which is
entirely.
so all that, yes, Chris, I know exactly what you mean. It's very frustrating.
It
And it's
is.
all
So
that,
then you, as a team lead, you put all this time and energy into
right?
helping this person get off the ground, only to watch them go away and go crush it for like Remax or like,
Right, or whatever, right? And I think it's
why?
very, I know. And so like I ran into the same thing that you did and it's like, well, and also it's very expensive. So it's
Yeah.
like you're spending all this time pouring into people, you're taking away from your production, it's costing you money, and then it's like, but there's no reason for them to stay other than loyalty, but like financially it generally makes no sense for them to stay once they know what they're doing. So when that happens, Chris, and they do end up leaving, like, what was what you had to be thinking, like, there's a better way to do this, right?
Yeah, because that's the most frustrating part is
So
watching
frustrating.
them leave and
Right.
you've done all that work.
Right.
And there is better. That's the best part about EXP is even locally, if you're building a team locally and you're at a different brokerage, you only have so many resources.
Mhm.
Whereas here, I'm able to bring in an agent and they're not quote unquote on my team as like the previous model or the old way of doing it
Like
is.
they're not
They're
like
an
a
agent.
buyer's agent.
Yeah, they're at EXP.
Mhm.
They're an individual agent, but they have all the resources of EXP, which is very vast. It's changed quite a bit. I mean, there's so much training and so much, so many resources available
Mhm.
at EXP just in the world. And then
Right.
we can go in and we can actually now focus on building our relationship and helping them. And you can still send them a lead or help them and you do a referral type thing, but they're on their own and they're helping, build their thing. So when they get up and running, it's even better
Yeah.
because now they're going to stay at EXP because they're getting all the benefits of this acquiring stock and having a
Right.
retirement. They're using the systems and the tools that are available at EXP to actually have a business of their own. And so then you're not a team lead with a buyer agent or a listing agent relationship. You're a team lead with agents.
Right.
And the best part is they can be anywhere. So
Yeah.
your team,
Like literally, they could
like
be in
literally anywhere. So if you
India,
talk about expansion,
Mexico. Yeah.
yeah, because I was actually getting ready to expand and have multiple locations of my brand. I'm here in Detroit, Michigan. I was going to open in Oklahoma, and I had people in Florida lined up because I have people I know there.
Yeah.
The cost to open up a place and to get systems there and to have
Oh,
all that. and leads and things like that was staggering. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
traditional business. So you look at EXP and the platform, and the hybrid 2.0 version of this is now we can log in and I can be in a virtual meeting with anyone
Yeah.
anywhere in the country. So if
Yeah.
I meet somebody in New Mexico and they want to be part of my group, and kind of like the same things that a team lead does is providing some training, some
Mhm.
inspiration, helping people get up and running and scenario based training. We can do all of that for anyone anywhere. We're a team without borders.
Right.
It's
Exactly. It's
huge.
crazy. It does, like the second you get that, it like changes everything, right?
Yep.
Because it used to be all about like teams and that was really about ego, honestly. But the problem with a big ego is you generally lose your money because you want to keep your ego big.
Yeah. I've
You
often heard, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich?
know? Right. Which
So
one?
I'll just take the money. You go be right all day. I'll be on the beach sipping on Mai Tai.
But like even if it's your dream to have like your brand kind of everywhere, you can actually still build it under this model too.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's less expensive. It's more like you make more money, your agents make more money, and you still get that ego piece that you want, which is fine. I mean, just know yourself, know
Yeah.
who you are.
Know
Right.
thyself. That's actually the 11th commandment. Know thyself.
Exactly. There you go. But
But yeah,
because of like the rules and stuff, you can easily like create your own like mini brokerage almost, but it's just like your team, which that's how a lot of brokerages, these small boutique brokerages are anyway. They just all
exactly.
work together and you could do that.
Yep. And then it's great too because you're able to actually mastermind and collaborate with other people who are in the same spot as you all along the way.
Yeah.
You're not waiting for that other guy in your office or that other gal in your office to kind of match your work ethic. You
Right.
can find somebody in a different state and get in a group with them. We have the workplace chat that we have through EXP, which is great. It has groups that you can be a part of. I mean,
Mhm.
we haven't even talked about like EXP commercial. So if
There's
you have
so
commercial
much.
stuff, you
Yeah.
have so much you can do from a team concept
Yeah.
that other places aren't there yet. They're still struggling to get through that, and a lot of that, and you said it, is their ego.
Yeah.
Uh,
It
they
is.
don't want to admit that there might be a better way.
Yeah.
You always got to
Well,
be ready for the
I
better way.
I think like, yeah, there's always like if you're not expanding and growing, like if you're not upgrading every year, like you're just, that's silly. But like,
Yeah.
okay, so this would be kind of equivalent to like expansion teams almost, which is how, so it was like regular teams where you as the rainmaker were the main listing agent, you had buyer's agents. That's like building a team 101, right?
Right. Yep.
Then you went into like expansion teams, which is okay, you have a main hub, and we'll call it Detroit. And then
Hmm.
you had like other team, like your team also in other places in other states. But like you said, the problem with that is it's very cost prohibitive and it's just like clunky, right? So
Yes.
that's like, yeah, that's like building a team 1B, I
Well,
guess.
that yeah, and then like with the expansion model too, one of the hardest positions to fill is that initial point person
Right.
who's going to quote unquote stay loyal to you. I mean, you talk about the revolving door.
Yeah.
Well, how bad would that be? You do an expansion model where
And
you're
then they're gone.
investing
Right.
tons of capital
Yeah.
only to watch that person go, you know what? Hey, I'm going to go do my version, the Jones team down
Right.
here.
Of this.
And then your entire location is now gone.
Right, which is
So,
insane. So
yeah,
now the 2.0, it's like the you can have like that same agent, right? But you could actually just start them off and they could just work as like a full just a regular agent and you can authorize them to use your branding and so you're training them and all this stuff but you don't have to spend like any more
right,
money.
right. But you get to fold them in to what you already have,
Mhm.
and instead of and then along the way you're equipping them,
Right,
and everybody's in alignment. Like, my goal is to help somebody get up and running and established,
right,
and then essentially just have them be very happy that they're making money, they're doing deals, they
right.
have great systems, they're collecting hopefully revenue sharing because we're modeling how attraction
Totally do
works,
that.
and
Right.
they're acquiring a retirement with the stock that they can look in over a year period of time or 2 year period of time and be like, oh wow, that that's really starting to add up. That's
Yeah.
making a difference. And I know people who have come over because I came over 3 years ago. I know people who have bought houses that
With
have
their
cashed in, from the acquisition of their stock. The company has done well. I
right.
mean, we're over 50,000 agents now. I think we're pushing 55,000.
Yeah.
You're adding all these agents. That's revenue for the company, and then that means that they're able to do the things that they want to go to.
But
So it's
even
pretty
so,
awesome.
like you're creating an environment for that like mini rainmaker that's in charge of like that location. There would be no reason for them to leave because they're not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not costing them money. They have good branding, they've built systems, they run that market. You haven't, as the actual rainmaker, invested a lot of capital. It's like a win-win for everybody. And if they do decide that they don't want to do it anymore and they just want to be like an agent on their own, or they want to build their own brand,
Go
great,
for it.
do
You're
it.
already there.
Like it's fine because you haven't
And
invested, you're not losing anything.
they're already using the same support system because EXP has set up all the state brokerages,
Right.
all the admin
It's
staff,
already
all the
done.
transaction staff. Everybody will know how to do all that stuff. They'll know how to use SkySlope. They'll know how to use KV Core. And it makes the transition a lot smoother and a lot less like, oh my God, I don't want to be with this person anymore. Like
Right.
it's
It's
it's more
less
of like
friction and
it's
less
more like a bird leaving the nest and flying out on its own, as
right.
opposed to eating that bird, like being like, off with you. But I will say one last thing that is hugely important that I just thought of
Mhm.
is that in this model, the hybrid 2.0, you deal with a lot less politics.
Yeah. Why
I
is
ran into that a lot. Like, you want to grow, but we're going to only help you so much. There was a lot of political gaming, whereas here the collaboration has overridden the ego and the politics.
well, there's no
Which,
politics because we're all this in the same, we all want the company to grow because we're all the owners of the company.
yep,
So it's not like, well, if it's not like if you grow, then I can't. We can both grow.
yeah, we have more meaningful dialogue without agenda because
Yeah.
the agenda is for more profit. And so
Right.
we come up when you mastermind, and everybody should know this. If you get together, if you put two stupid people in a room, they're only going to come up with so many great ideas.
Right.
But if you put, 14 people in the room and four of them are really, really smart, then it doesn't matter if you're dumb or not.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
actually going to be the beneficiary of the smart people that are in the room.
Right.
And so the more you add into the grow, and that's kind of how it's happened. 6,000 people, sure, you can argue, well, maybe nobody knows what they're doing, but now you're over 50,000.
Right.
We have some really great people at EXP, and I mean really great people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are leading the show, that are helping everybody collaborate and creating environments for the best ideas to come out, and that
Well,
benefits everybody.
it does. And I think too that a lot of teams are coming over here because they were seeing the same thing that we're talking about. They were a revolving door. It was very expensive. Good people were leaving because it made sense for them to leave. So
Mhm.
then it's like if you move everybody over here, it's less expensive for the owner and it's more profitable for everybody, and your team
Yep.
won't leave because there's no reason to leave. Like they're making the same, they're doing better with you than they would be on their own, whereas in the old model they would be doing better, making more profitability on their own than they would be with you at some
Yep.
point. Yeah.
Always got to slow down that revolving door. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, close the
And
back door.
yeah,
Lock
close the door. Yeah, it's good. So,
it.
hey,
Exactly. Well, I
awesome stuff.
appreciate you being on. If people have questions about your hybrid team building model, or they have a referral for you in Detroit, or they want to learn more about EXP, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, both. You can call me on my cell phone. Number is 734-578-1150. You can text me at that number too,
Okay.
or you can drop me an email at chris.deighton@exprealty.com.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being on, Chris. Thank you.
Jennifer, it's a pleasure. Thanks.